5.5 hours is a lot of goals. I think anybody get 5 so far for the tournament? No.
But at least they make a record.
My first name is Andre. I was also at the time a studying medical student, and people always just used to associate anybody who rapping and with medicine as Dr. Dre, and it used to annoy me real bad. So I wanted to stay away from anything to do with Dre at all. My friends still call me Dre, but in terms of rapping, I went with the first part of my name and made it into Ans. Around 1998 was the first time that I could say I was heavy into music. My big sister was more into introducing me to new music, and at the time it didn't have many urban stations. It just had like top 40 music that you would hear, and then she was who first introduced me to things like hip hop, R&B, and from there I just knew that I was very interested in it, seeing the videos and just wanting to emulate what I was seeing. No, never at any point. The thing is, I took a long time before I actually started to make my own music. And that wasn't because I wasn't writing or I wasn't interested or I didn't think I had the talent. What happened was hearing the hip hop and hearing how it sounded. Every artist, to me at least, probably has two voices. They have an inside, the mind voice, and a voice that is the actual voice, how it comes out when they see it. So initially, excuse me, initially the two weren't matching up for me, and I didn't know how to put my words out in a way that it would sound suitable to me, because the main person I wanted to please was me. And it was only after years and years of working at it, writing things down, trying to verbalize it privately, that I realized how I wanted to put my voice out there into the world. And at no point did I use the accent, the foreign accent. Initially, that was the main thing that was holding me back. I was trying to figure out how to rap without using that accent. Rap, to me, is like a form of expression. It has connection to the rhythm or the beats in the background. And then, secondly, if you look at America, or wherever you consider rap to have started, which would have been New York specifically, it's not the same rap as Atlanta rap. It's not the same rap as Chicago rap. It's not the same as the West Coast rap, etc. So each region has its own sound, and the accents and everything is different. So I don't see why we can't be looked at as like just as a separate coast in terms of rapping. So we are free to have our own accent. UK artists would rap in their UK accent. I've heard Scottish people, Puerto Ricans who rap in Spanish, people from Senegal who rap in French and broken languages and all that. I don't see accent as the defining factor in determining if something is rap. Like initially when I first started, I kind of had a problem with it. I used to find it was like a big problem. Now it's not so much that I don't have a problem with it, but I mean I respect everybody's decision to do what they want to do. So I would still work with rappers who use the accent, and the thing is I'm more likely to like a local rapper using the accent in spite of the accent rather than because of the accent, because I don't think like using the accent is any big plus. Minimally, in terms of like the local hip hop show when Chromatics was hosting the grind, it moved a couple of stations. I think it changed names. There were different shows, but those were really the main places I submitted any music. A lot of the time, I don't send any music to the radio. I don't do radio edits. Just my own laziness probably or whatever. But I know I don't expend a lot of effort into trying to get onto the radio, at least so far. Probably will in the future step up the efforts a little bit, but it's not the main focal point of my career in terms of music. How I put my music together, I like to put full concepts and projects together, and to release an album or EP, the radio isn't the greatest format for me. I like my music to be taken in whole, and that's why I haven't done so many single releases and that type of thing. So I don't mind using the internet to put out a mixtape or an album. Well, I don't really do mixtapes anymore, but an album or EP, and allow people to access it via there and then perform live, that type of thing. Well, it's been a while since I've tried to monetize a project, meaning sell it to the public, but I mean, if I was trying, I'm fairly certain it would be okay. But it's not the greatest thing for artists. I still think in this day and age, radio, even though there's so many other outlets, the radio is still the number one means of consuming music for the average man. Well, I think it's twofold. Some people do realize because even after I put out the last project free, somebody hit me up, messaged me asking what they could do in terms of support because it would have cost money to put it out, and I was just like, well, just spread the word around. But there are other people who do not realize how costly it is to produce music. It takes time and effort to write. You could be doing something else, making money then. Then you have to record. You'll have to consider studio time. Then you have to get a mix, a master. Excuse. If you're gonna put it out properly, you want cover art. If you're gonna print it, you don't want to be handing people CDs with little scribbles on it with the marker. So you want to get the CD printed. You want to figure out how you're casing the CD. If you're gonna put a sleeve on it, all that costs money. Um, with the age of the internet, modern day things, everything is free, and also there are people who have diluted what it is to be an artist in that because the internet gives everybody so much attention, like somebody who would have had no way of getting the public's attention before could become famous without doing anything. So every man who have a laptop mic or something thinks he's a rapper or thinks he could sing, or they do get a camera from somebody, they record something, and suddenly they have more fans than people who actually have the talent. So I guess certain things have led the public to believe it's very easy to be an artist or to make art, but it is not as simple. I think the only thing you can do is put out a real high quality product, and I guess you could also invite the public into your world, into the process of making it. It might shed some light on how much goes into producing just a single song or project or whatever. But the best way I could think is showing people how much a cut above the rest your stuff is. I used to be a terrible live performer, and that came from the fact that I didn't used to put any effort into live performance. Like how I got started, shouts to Skito, I started performing in his open mic show down in San Fernando, called One Mic. He was the first person who put me onto the stage, and that's where I started performing. But like, after the first time, I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to keep going back. So every month or so, I used to try and go once I didn't have exams or something to do. I used to go down to perform. But in like my earliest stage of being an artist, I used to write sometimes 2 3 songs a day. And anybody who knew me back then, I'm not the same like how I am now. I didn't used to write choruses and all that. I just used to write probably 64 bars of just rap and then not practice it. I write in something new every day and I'll go and just pick on the last minute. Alright, I want to perform this one. Then I'll go down there and the main focus would be on trying to remember each line. So I never put any effort into actually connecting with the audience or eye contact or microphone technique. None of the important things that you need to understand if you're going to perform for people. So back then I was really poor. But over time I gradually became more comfortable and now I'm not writing as much as I was then. So I do have more time to familiarize myself with my music, listen to it, figure out where I want to put in certain things, where I could change it up, switch it up, where I could involve the audience and that type of thing. So I think now I'm not the finished product, but I definitely improve a lot from when I first started. The ultimate goal in terms of music, I would just like to continue feeling the inspiration that I have now and inspiring other people through music. Ultimately, I would love if I could allow my music to sustain me, my family, allow me to see the world even in terms of touring and stuff, and just performing at new places, finding new reasons to write music, all of that.